So I want to configure using Wah pedal for my gain profile for the second, which is switched on by the second pedal in this bank. So usually you're not using Wah all the time. Usually you just want to switch it on and switch it off. You can dedicate a particular button to switch to the profile with the Wah turned on, or as I usually use this controller. So as I told before, this row I usually use for controlling the profiles, the switch between the profiles, like clean, low gain, high gain, and so on. This row I usually use without a program change message. So I usually configure these buttons. If I press it, it doesn't change the profile, but it changes the properties of the profile, like stompbox switching on and off. And usually I use this button, the button number 10, to switch on the Wah pedal in the performance mode for the second performance here, performance 7, for the second profile, gain profile. I have Wah pedal in the settings of Kemper. I don't want to change this profile. I just want to hit one button, button 10, on the controller, and to switch on the expression pedal. When I switch on the expression pedal for Wah, it's a channel 1 in Kemper. So for the high gain, usually I use a gate. It has a gate, the stomp A, the stomp B. I want it to be a Wah. Let's switch to some Wah preset. Let it be a Wah cry. Yeah, that's a good one. Usually use it. And it's enabled, but if your pedal on a Behringer, if your expression pedal is switched off, there's no Wah effect. This is the trick. So if you go into configuration and see what is set in the pedal mode, is set to bypass at stop. This is the way it works. So you can just select the Wah cry from the presets and so on. So I just want to press one button, button 10, to switch on the expression pedal. In this case number 2. I want number 2 for Wah, because the first I always use for volume. So what I'm doing, I'm going to this button, to button number 10 in this bank, and I want to edit it. I'm starting editing. It has 2 expression pedals turned on. Okay, I switch the first one off. I just want this button, which I chose for editing, to enable expression pedal B. So if it's lit, then it will enable it. I need to verify on what channel it works. It works on channel 1. That's correct. The channel 1 is used for Wah effect in Kemper. And also minimum maximum value, I keep it as it is, minimum 0 and maximum 127. And I'm out. Okay. Okay, so now I have 2 profiles, clean and high gain, and gain profile. Okay, I'm in a gain profile, I'm playing, and my expression pedals does not control anything. And I want, during my solo, I want to start Wah. So in this configuration, when I press 10, it enables this pedal by, you can see it by the light above. And you are ready to play with Wah. When you touch this button, change the position, you will hear the Wah effect. So the main disadvantage when you don't have that specific chip for Kemper in this controller is that you can see only one button enabled. So basically this, you can see 10, right? Like you're on a press at 10, but you did not change the profile in Kemper. So actually you are on your profile, on the gain profile, on this, you're like on this button with this second button enabled, but it's just not shown, but your profile didn't change, and by pressing it the second time it won't switch off the wah effect. So this is the disadvantage as well, but as I usually use it, you need just to press 2 once again and you're back. This button sends the program change message to Kemper, but the program is the same, so Kemper does nothing. It does not change the profile, but it's what it does, it switches off the expression pedal, and this switches off the wah on Kemper. So enabling wah, you play with wah, you press it once again and you switch off wah, and your profile doesn't change. You just need to keep in your head what profile was used and where you basically, you even don't need to remember that, because when you finish playing with wah, your lead, you need to change to some other sound, right? It may be the same sound, it may be the different sound. Maybe you want to switch back to the cleans. You just press cleans once and you're on your clean with all the settings. So this is the way I usually use it. And the second pedal, the C stompbox, I want it to be some drive or distortion. Let it be a pure boost. I like pure boost, and not too much. And I saw the performance once again. Yeah, but it's switched on. I want it to be switched off by default. I store it once again. So this is the initial configuration. The next step, I want to switch on and off my stompboxes. I want a boost or a distortion pedal as a stompbox C, and I want to be able, on my high gain, my gain profile, I want to boost it somehow in this configuration. So I have my wah configured already for this button, and I have all the buttons actually. You can configure any button to switch on your stompboxes. I prefer to use these 2 buttons, or 3 buttons. Anyways, it depends on the composition I play. So let's pretend these buttons are controlling my Kemper stompboxes A, B, C, D. So we want C stompbox to be enabled. Let's configure button 8 to send the message to the Kemper to switch on the stompbox C. So it's the second type of the MIDI messages. It's a CC type, which is an abbreviation. CC is from control change. Let's start editing button A. Starting editing. I don't want this button to send the program change message. I need to switch it off. I don't want my profile to be changed when I press 8 button. I don't want second expression pedal. I don't need wah. And volume, okay, volume, we always need volume. Just verify that it is the 7, the channel is 7, just validate that it is. In editing, we can send 2 control change messages to Kemper simultaneously. So let's enable the 1 control change message. So I press it and hold it for a couple seconds. It is enabled. So now it's changing something. I need to validate what is it changing. What is it sending? So it sends 0. So for stompbox C, you can see I've printed out all the MIDI references to have it with me all the time. So for stompbox C, it should be 19. So you need to send the control change message number 19 to enable stompbox C. So here is 19. Now we have 19. We press up once again, and we again have some value to input. So the control change sends the message with a number like 19, 20, and also it sends the value of the control. What should it be? So for stompbox it's simple. It's either on or off. So if it is 0, then it's off. If it is something more than 0, then it is on. We want the stompbox C to be enabled, so we want some value more than 0. I usually put the maximum, 127. You press it once again, and that's it, all the editing. So let's validate what we have now. Just repeating. We send control change message number 19. This value you can find in the Kemper media reference guide. For stompbox C it is 19, and the value it is sending 127, so it will enable the stompbox C. So now we exit. We go to our gain profile. So you see, now we're on our gain profile, and when we press A, you can see it has enabled the stompbox C, and now we're playing with boost or with gain, and you don't hear any switch. Kemper is very well done. It does not have any gap or noise when you send the message with the same program for the same profile. It does not do anything with the profile. So if I press it several times and I'm on the same profile, there's nothing happening. So when I press 8 here, I enable. When I press 2 once again, the stompbox C is disabled, because my profile by default has the stompbox C disabled. If I press it several times once again, it just sends the same message all the time. It sends the message to enable stomp C. So if I press it several times, it changes nothing. And if I press 2, it returns to the default setting of the profile.